California had been written about, a book called Ramona. A lot of sentimental slop. But nobody in my time had tried to write about the Los Angeles background in any sort of realistic way.
No.
Of course, now half the writers in America live in California.
Because Nathaniel West did, I think, didn't he? At least,
Yeah, but he came along much, much later.
Yes, he did. That's quite true. Well, as far as my material is concerned, I'm afraid I just get mine by going to places and taking down copious notes, because I can't remember anything.
Yes, but you're an experienced journalist.
Well, I think that's probably the answer.
Yes.
And then I learned my writing.
Yeah, you can go to Las Vegas, and you can get Las Vegas in a few days, except the ice water.
Right. Oh, yes, you complained about some in one of the meals my James Bond ordered in Las Vegas. I described the meal, and I didn't get him the waitress bringing the ice water the first thing. Wasn't that your complaint?
Well, that amused me, because that's the first thing that happens in an American restaurant.
I kicked
it's a glass of ice water put down by the waitress or the bus boy.
Yeah. I kicked
the bus boy is comparable to a commie here.
Yeah. Yes, because I rather pride myself on trying to get these details right, and that is a very bad break.
I don't think any English writer has ever got as many right as you have.
Well, I don't know. It's laborious work.
I mean, that stuff in Harlem was wonderful.
Was it?
I thought it was, and also in St. Petersburg.
I rather liked it in Petersburg.
Oh, I don't think any American could have done it more accurately.
I find, I don't know if you do, extremely difficult to write about villains. Villains, I find, extremely difficult people to put one's finger on. You can often sort of find heroes wandering around life and meet them, come across them, and plenty of heroines, of course, but the really good, solid villain is a very difficult person to build up, I think.
I don't think I ever, in my own mind, think anybody's a villain.
No, I think that comes out in the book. But you have some quite tough, villainous people there.
Yes, they exist.
I see they had another killing last week in New York. One of these men connected with that Doc Union man. What is his name?
Albert Anastasia?
Anastasia, yes. How's a sort of killing like that arranged?
Very simply. You want me to describe how it's done?
Yes.
Well, first of all, the syndicate has to decide that he must be killed, and they don't want to kill people.
No.
It's bad business nowadays.
Yeah.
Then when they make the decision, they telephone to a couple of chaps, say, in Minneapolis, who own hardware stores or something or other and have a respectable business front. And these chaps come along to New York and they're given their instructions. And they're given a photograph of the man and told what's known about him. And when they get on the plane, if they have to get on the plane,
in Minneapolis,
they're given guns.
When
no,
they get
not
on...
in Minneapolis.
Oh.
No, after they get their instructions.
Yeah.
They're given guns.
Yeah.
Now, these guns are not defaced in any way.
No.
But they're guns that have passed through so many hands that present owners can never be traced. The company could say the first purchaser. So they go to where the man lives. They get an apartment across the street from him or a room. And they study him for days and days and days until they know just exactly when he goes out, when he comes home, what he does. And when they're ready, they simply walk up to him and shoot him. They have to have a crash car. Bugsy Siegel was the great man for the crash car.
Yeah.
The crash car is in case a police car should come down the street.
Yeah.
And it accidentally, on purpose, smashes the police car.
Yes, I see what
So
you
they
mean.
ever thought to get away, they get back to the plane, go home, that's all there is to it.
And they drop the guns. They drop the guns at the spot, do they?
They always drop the guns, yes.
And wear gloves?
How many fingerprints have ever been taken off guns?
Yes, quite.
So they always hold them by the butt.
Yes. That's quite true. Of course, they always appear to be taken off in books, but I suspect that because by filing the material on the butt and scraping it well, of course, you make a rough surface, it won't take any prints at all.
No. The butts aren't made that way.
No.
They're made to be rough.
Yes, quite true. How much do they get paid for that each?
10,000.
10,000 each?
Mm-hmm. If it's an important man.
Yes.
That's small money to the syndicate.
Yes. And then they go back to their jobs in the hardware stores in Minneapolis.
Yes. Quite impersonal.
Yeah, they don't mind one way or the other.
They don't care anything about the man. They don't care whether he's dead or alive.
No.
It's just a job to them.
Yeah.
Of course, they have to be a certain sort of people,
yes,
or they wouldn't do it. I mean, they're not like us. We wouldn't do it.
No. Difficult thing to imagine doing.
Well, I've known people I'd like to shoot.
For instance? Anybody in England?
No, not in England. Mm-mm.
What do you want to shoot them for?
I just thought they were better dead.
But again, to go back to villains, because the difficulty is in writing about a man such as the people you describe, is to be certain oneself and to be able to persuade the reader that the man is not to be pitied for being a sick man. It's difficult to depict somebody who really is tough without being a psychopath.
Well, it's almost impossible to imagine an absolutely bad man who is not a psychopath.
It is, I know. And then you see you create pity for him at once. It's difficult. That's what I mean about villains. They're very difficult people to build up.
Well, he may have his very human side. He may be very kind to his family.
Yes.
But in his business, illegitimate, he may be quite ruthless.
Mm. One's got to know these people. You can't invent them.
You don't find anyone, really, that's all bad.
Now, do you think, I mean, so far as heroes are concerned, because your hero, Philip Marlowe, is a real hero. I mean, he behaves in a heroic fashion. My leading character, James Bond, I never intended to be a hero. I intended him to be a sort of blunt instrument wielded by a government department who would get into bizarre and fantastic situations and more or less shoot his way out of them, get out of them one way or another. But of course he's